I'm into.
Hello, teacher.
How are you today?
I'm fine.
Good, Mantu. Okay, sweetie, we're gonna do some speaking today. Let's go to test 2 speaking. We'll do it from the beginning. Unit 1, Unit 2. Okay, let's go to the story first. Okay, Mantu, let's tell the story. The king in the city. What do you think happens in the first picture?
Firstly, King Richard is go outside, and there is a lot of people are watching him,
Uh-huh.
and there was the driver on the car is waiting King Richard. Then King the driver is can't drive the car. Hello, teacher.
Hi, Micron. Yes? The driver can't drive, Mantu, and then?
And then the mechanic is go to take the car.
Good. And the next picture? I'll get the right words for you. That's Unit 2 we're doing. Hang on. Speak. Here. Unit 2. Okay. Here.
And furthermore, the firefighter is wanted King Richard go on his car. And finally, the King Richard is on the fire car, and the people is is the fan there are a lot of people fan of King Richard. who are watching him.
Yes, they're making fun of him. Okay, good. Hi, Anh Quay. Okay, Con, you can tell us the story. Let me just see. Anh Quay. Con, you can tell the story.
First, we just is very too many people, and we was very happy then. The man is selling the car can start to run, and King Jet is very sad. Then the mechanic can say the car cannot run. Furthermore, firefighter is ready to roll a fire.
Thôi được, bài này dài chung. Từ nhỏ mới con.
Fire car. Two. Now, he is saying okay. Finally, he is standing on the fire car and he is wearing too many people. They are very happy.
Good job. Well done for both of you trying well. Okay. First, King Richard has come to visit the city. There are lots of people who want to see him. He has a beautiful car waiting to take him through the streets. Next, King Richard is sitting in the car. But the car is not moving. The engine is not working. Then a mechanic is trying to fix the car, but he can't do it. He says sorry to the king. The king is very unhappy. Now, the king is getting out of the car. A fire engine, a firefighter is saying something to the king. And points to the fire engine. Finally, the king is sitting on top of the fire engine. He is going through the streets and he is waving to everyone. They all look happy to see him. Okay. Mantu, you can try again.
First, King Richard has come to visit the city. There are lots of people who want to see him. He has a beautiful car waiting to take him through the street. Next, King Richard is sitting in the car, but the car is not moving. The engine is not working. Then the mechanic is trying to fix the car, but he can't do it. He says sorry to the king. The king is very unhappy. Now the king is getting out of the car. The firefighter is saying something to the king and points to the fire engine. Finally, the king is sitting on top of the fire engine and he is going through the street and he is waving to everyone. They all look happy to see him.
Good. Macon, you try.
But King Richard has come to visit the city. There are lots of people who want to see him. He has a beautiful car and waiting to take him to the street. Next, King Richard is sitting in the car, but the car not moving. The engine is not working. Then a mechanic is trying to tie the car, to fix the car. But he can do it. He says sorry to the king. The king is very unhappy. Now the king is getting out of the car. The firefighter is saying something to the king and point to the fire entrance. Finally, the king is fire engine. Finally, the king is sitting on the top of the fire engine. He is going through the streets and he is waving to everyone. They all look happy to see him.
Good. Okay. I want Mantu to read it one more time.
First, King Richard has come to visit the city. There are lots of people who want to see him. He has a beautiful car waiting to take him through the street. Next, King Richard is sitting in the car, but the car is not moving. The engine is not working. Then a mechanic is trying to fix the car, but he can't do it. He says sorry to the king. The king is very unhappy. Now the king is getting out of the car. A firefighter is saying something to the king and points to the fire engine. Finally, the king is sitting on top of the fire engine. He is going through the streets and he is waving to everyone. They all look happy to see him.
Good. Okay, my con try.
First, King Richard has come to visit the city. There are lots of people who want to see him. He has a beautiful car, waiting to take him to the sea street. Like King Richard is sitting on the car, but the car is not moving. The engine is not working. Then a mechanic is trying to fix the car, but he can't do it. He says sorry to the king. The king is very unhappy. Now, the king is getting out of the car. A firefighter is saying something to king and point to the fire engines. Finally, the king is sitting on the top of the fire engines. He is going through the street and he is waving to everyone. They all look happy to see him.
Him. Good. Let's go here and see if you can remember. So, Mantu can go first.
Firstly, King Richard is going outside. There are a lot of people who are watching him. There was the beautiful car is waiting to take him. And then the car is not moving and the car engine is not working. Then the mechanic is trying, but he can um but he can fix the car. And
You can't fix the car.
furthermore, the the firefighter is tell something to the King Richard and pointing at the fire engine. Finally, the King Richard is on top of the fire engine and there are a lot of fans of King Richard. They are looks very happy to they are very happy to look King Richard.
To see King Richard. To see him.
To see
To
King
see King
Richard.
Richard. Good. My con try. Con, we can't hear you.
First, the King Richard is go visit to city. He has a beautiful car for the streets. Then the car is not moving. The car is not moving. And The King Richard is unhappy. Then the mechanic is saying sorry to the King Richard. Richard is unhappy. Then, furthermore, the firefighter is saying something to the king and point to the fire engines. Finally, the king is sitting on the top of the fire engines. He is waving to many people. Many people very happy to see him.
Yes, good. Okay, well done, boys. Let's go up and see if we can ask and answer questions here. So let's ask about Mr. Brown first, okay? I can go up a little bit. So I want to take this out first. Mr. Brown, we're going to ask about Mr. Brown first. Okay, Maikon, you can ask the first question. Mr. Brown's work.
How old is Mr. Brown to work?
How old is Mr. Brown? How old is Mr. Brown?
How old is Mr. Brown?
Good. Mantu, how old is Mr. Brown?
Mrs. Brown is 47.
Mr. Brown is 47 years old. Min, next question.
What Mrs. Mr. Brown do?
Ask again. What? Mantu?
What Mr. Brown do?
What job? You can say, what job does Mr. Brown have? Or you can say, yes, you can say, what job does Mr. Brown have? Or what job does Mr. Brown do? You can say do or have. What job do you do? What job do you have? What job does Mr. Brown do? What job does Mr. Brown do, Maikon?
Mr. Brown is a manager.
Manager. Okay, Maikon, next question.
Where is Mr. Brown work?
Where does Mr. Brown work?
Mr. Brown work?
Good. Where does Mr. Brown work, Mantu?
Mr. Brown work at the office.
In an office. Say it again.
Mr. Brown work in an office.
Yes. Mantu, next question.
What time does Mr. Brown start?
What time does Mr. Brown start work? What time does Mr. Brown start work, Maikon?
Mr. Brown start to work at 8 o'clock.
Mr. Brown starts work at 8 o'clock. Okay, Maikon, next question.
What is Mr. Brown? What is Mr. Brown hobby?
What is Mr. Brown's hobbies?
Mr. Brown hobbies is
Mr. Brown
Mr.
hobbies
Brown's
are,
hobbies are playing chess and playing snowboarding.
no, you can't play snowboarding. Mr. Brown's hobbies are, you can just say here, chess and snowboarding. Okay, now we're gonna go up and look at this one. Okay, wait, first, yes. Let's go. Now we're gonna talk about Mrs. Peters' work, okay? Maikon, can I ask the first question?
How old is Mr. Peter? How old is Mr. Peter? How old is Mr. Peter? How old is Mr. Peter?
Mrs. Peters.
How old is
Mrs.
Mrs. Peter? Peter.
Peters. Mantu, we can't hear you.
Mrs. Peters is 33 years old. What job does Mrs. Peters do?
Mr. Peter job is a businesswoman. Where is Mr. Peter work? Where does Mr. Peter
It's not
work?
Mr., it's Mrs. Mrs.
Where does Mrs. Peter work?
Mrs. Peter work at her shop. What time the Mrs. Peters do start work?
Mrs. Peter work at the shopping. What time
Ask the last question again.
where is Mrs. Peter work?
Where does Mrs. Peter work? Where does Mrs. Peter work?
Where does Mrs. Peter work?
Mrs.
Mantu.
Peters work at her shop.
Good, Mantu.
What time the Mrs. Peters start work?
Mrs. Peter start work at 9
Starts.
o'clock.
Starts. Starts.
Mrs. Peter starts work at 9 o'clock.
Good.
What is Mrs. Peter's hobbies?
Mrs. Peters' hobbies is playing puzzles and playing golf.
Puzzles and playing golf. Good. Now you can ask about Mr. Brown. Let's go down to Mr. Brown again.
How old is Mr. Brown?
Mintu.
Mr. Brown is 47 years old. What job does Mr. Brown do?
Mr. Brown's job is a banker.
Manager.
Manager. Where is Mr. Brown work?
Where does Mr. Brown work?
Mr. Brown work in an office. What time does Mr. Brown start work?
Mr. Brown starts work at 8 o'clock. What is Mr. Brown's hobby?
What is Mr. Brown's hobby? Ask it again.
It's Mr. Brown's hobby.
Mr. Brown's hobby is playing chess and playing snowboarding.
No, not playing. You can't play snowboarding. Playing chess and snowboarding. Or you can say, what is his hobbies? Mr. Brown's hobbies are chess and snowboarding. Mr. Brown's hobbies are chess and snowboarding. Mintu, say again.
Mr. Brown's hobbies is
Are chess?
are playing chess and playing snowboarding.
No, Mintu, you're not listening to me. Like, you can't play snowboarding. So you say Mr. Brown's hobbies are chess and snowboarding. Try again, Mintu.
Mr. Brown's are
Mr. Brown's?
Mr. Brown's hobbies are chess and snowboarding.
There we go. Okay. One more time, Mrs. Peter.
How old is Mrs. Peter?
Mrs. Peters is 43 years old. What job does Mrs. Peters do?
Mr. Mrs. Peter, her job is a businesswoman. Where is Mrs. Peter work?
Where does Mrs. Peter work? Where does?
Where does Mr. Peter work?
Mrs. Peter works as herself. What time does Mrs. Peter start work?
Mrs. Peter start work at 9 o'clock. But what is Mrs. Peter's hobby?
What is Mrs. Peters' hobbies? Hobbies.
Hobby.
Hobbies.
Mrs. Peters' hobbies are puzzle and goats.
Puzzles. Puzzles.
Puzzles and goats.
Good. Okay. Here. Let's tell the difference. I can't make it bigger. I just want to see. Maybe like that. Okay, here. Manchu, what can you see? Find the difference.
In the first pictures, I can see the man is I can see the girl is going to the going in the library. But in the second pictures, I can see the girl is going out of the library.
Okay, so in the first picture, it's going into, the girl is walking into the library, and here she's walking out of the library. Han, what can you see?
In the first picture, the man is get book into the bookshelf, but in the second picture, the man is writing.
Okay, so in the first picture, the man is looking at a book, at the bookshelf, and here he's writing. Yes, good. Okay, Mantu, what can you see?
In the first pictures, I can see the flowers on the library desk. But in the second pictures, there is not there are not flowers on the library on the on the shelf in the library.
on the bookshelf in the library? Good. There aren't any flowers. Not there are no flowers. There aren't any flowers, okay? The first picture, there are flowers on the bookshelf. In the second picture, the flowers are on the desk. Can you see them too? Mantu, I can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay, say it again, Mantu.
In the first picture, there is the flowers is on the shelf in the library. And in the second picture, there are the flowers is on the teacher table.
Okay, good. Khan, what can you see?
In the first picture, there are lots of newspaper on the table, but in the second picture, there are lots of comics on the tables.
Good. Mantu?
In the first pictures, I can see the newspaper is on the table. But in the second pictures, I can see the book is on the table.
Yes, that is what Khan said. Can you see something else? Khan said that one. Okay, can you see another one, Mantu?
In the first pictures, I can see the class is at 10 20 20 15 minutes. But in the second pictures, I can see the clock is at 20 o'clock.
Okay, anything else, Khan, that you can see?
Yes, in the first picture, the girl is wearing a white belt. But in the second picture, the girl is wearing yellow belt.
Yes, well done. Anything else you can see? Good job. Well done, you two. Very good. Okay, now we're going to go back and see if you can remember the story. Okay, Khan, you can tell us the story first.
Firstly, King Richard is visits to Fitz City. He has a beautiful car to take him through the street. Then the car is not moving. King Richard is unhappy. Then next, the mechanic selling sorry to the King Richard because he can do it. The King Richard is unhappy. Then the firefighter is selling something to King Richard and point to the fire interest. Finally, the King Richard is sitting on the top of the fire engine and he is waving to something. They are all happy.
Okay. And to try.
Firstly, the King Richard is go outside, and there are a lot of people who are watching him. There was the beautiful car waiting him to took him. And next, the car is not moving. The car engine is not working. Now then there is a mechanic is trying to fix his car. But he can't fix. He says sorry to King Richard. He is not unhappy. He is very unhappy. Furthermore, the firefighter is tell something to King Richard and pointing at the fire ending. Finally, the King Richard is on top of the fire ending, and there was a lot of the there was a King Richard on top of the fire ending who waving to people, and the people look very happy to seeing him.
To see him. People are happy to see him. Good. Okay, let's see if we can find a difference here. Okay, Macon, you can try first.
In the first picture, in the first picture, the cloud is sitting on the elephant, but in the second picture, the cloud is sitting on the floor.
The girl is sitting on the elephant. Say again, Con.
In the first picture, the cloud is sitting on the elephant, but in the second picture, the boy is standing on the floor.
I don't know what you're saying. Who are you talking about?
A cloud and an elephant.
The clown. And here, the clown, not the cloud. The clown. You have to say your words properly. Clown. The clown is standing in front of the elephant. There we go. Okay, Mantu, you try.
In the first pictures, I can see the girl is riding the horse. Right in the second pictures, I can see two girls riding the horse.
There's one girl riding a horse, and there are two girls riding a horse. Okay. What can you see, Con?
In the first picture, in the first picture, the woman is standing, but in the second picture, the woman is sitting.
Good. Mantu?
In the first pictures, I can see the man is is uh is uh the cleaning the camera. But in the second pictures, the man is the man is washing the camera.
Yes.
Yeah. What that?
Okay,
What
we're
that?
gonna stop here, boys. You both did a good job today. I'm going to see you next time. And two, you did really good. Khan, very good job today, okay? I'll see you next time,
Bye.
boys. Bye.
Bye.